Hello everyone, welcome back to another beautiful session with me. This is Sanyukta Saxena and we are already down couple of tiles, have explored quite a few tangles by now, and today again I'm going to pick two chits, just a few of them left, and pick up two chits randomly, and then we shall see what's there in it for us. In today's session we have a tangle called Stoic. Okay, the Tangle Stoic is also called as Twile. Yes, it's the same tangle. And we have ing. Okay, or ing. Yes, so I generally don't use these tangles quite often. Mostly I am more inclined towards botanical tangles, floral, nature inspired tangles, and these are more or less geometric line based tangles, and that's why uh, I chose these tangles so that we can revisit them. Yeah. So stoic and ing. Wow, that's an interesting combination. So what I'm planning is ing. I'm going to draw stoic in the background and I'm going to draw a big ing running across my tile. That's the first thought. Else, it would be an interesting thing to draw a big ing, draw stoic inside it probably as a filler tangle, and then we can also add stoic outside. Yes, even that is possible. Let's see how do we want to proceed. So I'm first going to be starting with the tangle ing or ing, and this tangle starts with the zigzag lines. They can be of any size, need not be all of the same size. And then from these points I'm going to drop a line to half of the next. Yes, that's the first step. Almost looks like a trophy to me. Yes, and then you have to rotate and do the same exercise again from these ends to about half of this side. From these ends, open corners to the half of this side. And that's our tangle ing. Yes, isn't it beautiful? Yes. Now let us extend our tile a little more. Now inside ing there are a whole lot of things. Since the spaces are small, you may, if you want, you can add the same tangle stoic, or you can just aura it, or you can ink some of the spaces. So I am going to ink some of the spaces and aura the rest. Well, you can add whole lot of tangles inside, but as you know, I am sticking to two tangles as far as this series is concerned. So I'm just inking. Alternatively, you can also add tipple, or you can fill it up with simple auras. That's entirely your choice. Or of course, you have the choice to add different tangles inside each of these sections of your ing. You can always leave it empty and shade it. Even that looks nice. So I'm adding some bit of drama here by inking one part of the ing or ing, whatever you want to call it. This already looks 3D. The nature of tangle is such, and once you shade it, it looks very 3D. Yes, Done with that. Now I'm just going to, it would be a good idea to closely aura it before we go ahead and draw our next tangle, stoic or twirl. I'm adding a very close aura to my ing. I generally do that so that when I draw the next tangle, my main tangle kind of stands apart. However, if you want everything to be well in sync and blended with each other, you can always do away with it. Now let us add a nice curvy line running across the tile halfway, and then I'm going to draw the grid. Yes, stoic is a tangle which is drawn inside a square grid. So go with whatever spaces you have, draw behind. The stoic grid, or the way we start the tangle, is also a very common string that we use to draw different kinds of tile. Once I start drawing the tangle, you would realize, yes, that's a very common string, and that's how the tangle stoic starts. So my square grid is in place, and now I'm going to place a square inside each of these bigger squares. So a smaller square there, whatever is visible. Patiently go to each of these squares and add another square inside. Yes, moving on to the other side. Do the same exercise. Like this. Yeah, that was the first step. Now we have to extend each side to the opposite side of the square. So this side of the square goes to the opposite side of the bigger square, and similarly for the others. You can also change the direction and go anti-clockwise if you wish. Extend each side of the smaller square to the side facing it, like this. Yes, of the bigger square. So let's do this exercise for all, and this is a very common string, a very popular string. Slowly take your time. Go to each of the squares. Extend the lines. Like this. Yes. Yeah. Now either you can leave it as such, and even if you leave it as such and shade it, it will look nice, or what you can do is add further lines like this, and you can always ink the inner square. That's the Tangle Stoic or Twile. So I'm going to add lines. I like it that way. However, as I mentioned, you can always not add lines and just shade it simply without lines, and even that looks nice. Or you can use both, line some of the squares and skip some. Keep rotating. Drawing behind wherever required. Yes, so that's how I'm going to continue. So take your own time. Not necessary that you have to draw same number of lines in each section. That's okay. Just go with whatever spaces you have. You can even switch to a finer nib if you wish to. Yes, let's do that for all. Slowly take your time. Again, it's a beautiful tangle to draw and assumes great dimension once shaded. Like this. So I'm continuing with the same exercise on the other side. First drawing the grid and then we'll add the lines. Yeah. Let's now do the same exercise on this side also. Slowly take your time and draw the tangle. Draw those lines inside each of the section. It's a nice woven look that you get if you draw the lines. It's almost like a basket weave. Yes, so I am going to continue like this. Please draw at your own pace. No hurry. Tangle. Yeah. Can just draw behind a little, whatever space is available. Yes. So I'm done with drawing my Tangle Stoic. I'm going to add a little weight to this line, the curvy line that we started with. Right now what you can do is either you can leave the half of the tile the way it is, or you can use your pencil or gray pen to extend the same tangle on the other side. Yes. So I'm going to be using my gray pen today and going to extend the same tangle on the other side. The only difference being I'm going to be drawing with my gray pen. Alternatively, if you don't have your gray pen, you can use your pencil itself to extend the tangle on the other side. Like this. Yes. So let's go ahead and extend the tangle on the other side. Actually building the connection from the side, from this side of the curved line that we drew. Yes. So wherever you can build that connection, do that exercise. A slight connection, not necessary that you have to build wherever you can. Just a slight connection is all that I'm trying to create here with the other side. So just this row, the first row where the lines are kind of merging or going to the other side, I am being a little careful. Like this. Yes. Drawing the same tangle. However, I've now switched to my gray pen, and as I mentioned, you can always use your pencil also. So wherever you can build that slight connection, try do that. That's all. And that's about it. Right? Now we can draw normally as we drew the other side. Quickly go to each of the sections. First add the square inside each. Like this. Then add the grid. Doing exactly the same exercise now with my gray pen. So I'm almost finishing drawing my stoic, adding the final few lines. Be patient, take your time, don't be in a hurry. And I think we are done. drawing our stoic. Yes, let us now get to shading. So I'm going to add some thick graphite here because I want to give it a translucence kind of an effect, as if there is a translucent paper or cloth over half of my tile. I'm going to blend it. Slowly take your time. And then you can always shade on the grid line. There are a couple of ways in which you can shade stoic. Since here they are small, I'm just adding some touches of graphite on the grid line. Alternatively, you can shade it over and under. So where the lines are crossing, they seem to be going over and under, you can highlight those spaces. I'm currently just touching on the grid lines. Yes. Not adding much of graphite. Just adding a little. Make sure the whites are also visible. Don't make the entire thing gray. Yes. Coming next to our ink. Places where lines seem to be going under. It's a good idea to highlight. Take your time. Slowly pull out the graphite without making the entire section gray. Yes, so it adds a lot of dimension to the tile. We have added dark graphite here. The other half I would not like to shade and leave it as such. You can just give touches at the edges if you wish. And I would like it to be as such. What you can do is to add a little shadow here if you want to shade. So just a slight shadow on one side of your ING. Like this. If you want, you can add touches of chalk to some of your twile or stoic, especially those in the center, like this. Will act as a small highlight. Yes, and last but not the least, if you want to add some zen, then you can always add some dots in these black portions. Yes, so use your GellyRoll, and if you want, you can just add some fine dots here. This is again optional, not necessary that you do that. Yes, let's redo some of the lines. After shading, you can always revisit these lines. That's it. I don't think we need to do anything else to our tile. Yes, that's ing and that's stoic or twile in the background. Let us close our tile here. So I'm going to put in my chop somewhere. Always sign and date your tile. I shall see you again with 1 or 2 more sessions. Yes. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.